How's it going, YouTube? Sorry about that. How's it going, YouTube? We are back with some more news in sports. Mostly hockey and football here. Let's start with some hockey. Tampa Bay extended defenseman Alexander Green, for 2 years at $1.85 million. Truthfully, these first two, I don't know too much about them. So Tampa Bay Lightning fans and Pittsburgh Penguins fans, you're going to have to let me know what kind of defensemen are they and what's their room for improvement, because I don't know too much about those two. Pittsburgh signs Juuso Riikola to 2 years, $2.3 million. Once again, I don't know too much about him as a defenseman. He sounds like he might be Finnish, and Finnish defensemen tend to be a little more on the offensive side, or maybe even a two-way. But I'm not going to assume his play style, because he could be a 6'6" defenseman for all I know. Let's move to some football for a sec. Denver extends their kicker, Brandon McManus, for 4 years of $17.2 million. So I feel like that's a lot of money to hand to a kicker, but Brandon McManus is also a pretty good kicker, and if Denver's satisfied with their kicker, a lot of teams are having issues finding a kicker that they trust. And Brandon McManus, I mean, he's been consistent for Denver. Good place to kick in Denver, except for the wind. But I mean, if you're happy with your kicker, pay your kicker, and it's just over $4 million. It's not gonna crush you. So I think it's a pretty good signing for Denver. Back to hockey for a sec. So Minnesota gets their hands on Nick Bjugstad from Pittsburgh in exchange for a 2021 7th round pick. I feel like Nick Bjugstad might be a little bit more or worth more than that, but I don't know how much more. He tends to play more of like a power forward role, maybe a penalty killer. Probably not going to score you a whole lot of goals, but a good defensive energy type player. And for a 2021 7th, I mean, might as well. No, it's not an expensive a deal for Nick Bjugstad at all. And now LA signs defenseman Sean Walker to a 4-year, $10.6. So I really like Sean Walker. I think he was one of the bright spots of this season, seeing how much he's really developed and grew. He tends to be more of like an offensive threat. He plays pretty good defense as well, but I see a lot of his impact on the offensive side of the puck. Scored some goals, got some points. He really became one of our best defensemen as a pretty young player. So 4 years, 10.6. That's a really cheap deal. They lock him up for 4 years and really give it time to for the team to form, not just around him, but around all these young core players. And he has a cheap deal, 4 years, maybe make a run at a free agent, maybe next summer, not this year, too early. So having him on a cheap deal when he could probably be a possible top 2 defenseman, at least top 4, it's fairly fair right there. It's a really good deal for LA. So now to the big ones in the NFL world. New Orleans extends running back Alvin Kamara, 5 years, $75 million. That's a fat payday for him. There was rumors that they were going to try to shop him, but they put pen to paper, and they extend him. Alvin Kamara is one of the best backs in the league, consistently. Good pass catcher. He's good in the run game. There's nothing this guy can't really do. Love to see teams pay their players instead of just moving them away when they're done with them. He's a necessary part of their offense, and they would be a much worse team without him, for sure. Minnesota does the same thing with Dalvin Cook, extends him 5 years. It's $62.5 million deal. Same kind of deal. Good pass catcher. I think he's a little bit stronger on the run, but he has more injury concerns than Alvin Kamara does, which is probably the reason why for such a large gap in their pay grades. I really do like Dalvin Cook. I think he's a really good running back, and you really gotta love it for Minnesota. They're a team that's kind of in the in-between spot right now, and having one of their best players locked up for multiple years is a good thing for them to have as fans. And then the Rams, finally. The Rams extend Cooper Kupp, 3 years, $48 million. I really like Cooper Kupp. I'm not really a Rams fan, but Cooper Kupp really won me over with his fantasy performances because I drafted him in fantasy last year. Won me some weekly payouts, and I really got to watch his game, and he really is an underrated receiver when it comes to route running. He gets himself open, and he's explosive after the catches, which is what you want from a wide receiver, especially if you're a quarterback. because they can really help you pad your stats when you're throwing them a 3-yard slant and they turn it into a 60-yard touchdown. But I think Cooper Kupp is probably going to be their number one this year. Maybe Robert Woods is, but I prefer Cooper Kupp over Robert Woods any day. They're a team that's also in a tweener position, not because they're not a good team, but because of the fact that their division happens to be the best in football. They got the 49ers, Seattle, and the Cardinals in their division. A lot of good teams in that division. So if they're going to make a push for a playoff spot, they're really going to need everybody to play at the top of their game, and that includes their newly extended multi-million-dollar man, Cooper Kupp. But that's going to do it for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, share with your friends, and comment what you guys think about these transactions. Who do you think got the better deal between New Orleans and Minnesota for their running back? Personally, I can't really pick because I like them both. I see you guys next time. Comment any other videos you want to see done in the future.